Let's go. And we're back for another one. Dabu 7, Underground World News Live. Here on this April Fool's 2026. And we're going to start this thing off here tonight with some April Fools indeed with NASA. And what's going on with the whole Artemis thing. Thank you, Deanne. Good to see you. Thank you for the feedback, everybody. Much love. God bless Academy. Hopkinson, Steely, thank you for the super chat right at the gate. Skippy as well. Geo, thank you for everything, all the information. If you guys don't know, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email to send stuff to. I will say this, though. If you've sent anything recently, it might have got caught in the mix because they, every now and then, they've been doing something where they hit me and they're like, oh, your email's full. Either delete a bunch of emails or pay money. So I have to go through and try and delete emails in mass. It only gives you like a bulk option to start deleting and deleting. So I had to do that yesterday. If anyone sent me anything and didn't get a response here in the past couple days, that might be why. But it should be good to go now, hopefully for a minute. Thank you, Jay. Hoodie Ross in the building. If you don't know, we dropped the official music video for Yeah Yeah. It is the last video here on this channel if you missed it. So yeah, it's me and Hoodie Ross. That was the first music video that I've ever done using neural frames, using a bunch of AI components to create stuff to our advantage, so I could tell a story. Sharpening my skills. I've got a couple more videos coming. I hope you guys enjoy that one. And I've got Bonnie and Clyde coming up. And You Better Get Ready for War. Two bangers coming up behind it. So I figured I'd drop a 1, 2, 3 here within a week or two of music and music videos. Starting off with that one there. And thank you again, Steve, Delta, Hopkinson, Tom. Good to see everybody. Again, thank you for the super chats. If anyone drops PayPals, any coffees, any prayers, it's all appreciated to the fullest. And I'm still seeking answers for those that were asking earlier. Still, yeah, full moon tonight. It's going to be lit up, high energy, Pixie in the house. And you're looking at a shot, the Illuminati shot there, with the Most High, with Yeshua, looking at it, the motto, and that is a clip, a screenshot from the next music video. Well, no, the last one, the war one that I'm going to be dropping. So I got a lot going on in production. We're trying to make all those videos. And it's a learning experience, but it's fun to be able to tell a story. You guys are going to see, as I said, yeah, was the very first one I was ever able to do. So you're going to see in the ones from here on, you're going to see a turn toward pure war, starting with Bonnie and Clyde. And just, you're going to see the enemies called out in it. You're going to see all of it. So yeah, so get this thing going here tonight. We're going to start with NASA and their Artemis 2 rocket. Now, let's get some facts down. Oh, wow, man. Fungi. Man, girl, I hope you're doing good. But we think about you and, like, I hope she's okay. Man, much love, man. Got to see you again. Got to see you again in the flesh. Have to. I just hope all is well. Just, it's good to see people check in, man. Know they're alive and breathing. Everything's going good. Everyone's out there dealing with life. Just another good one to see. Lone Lion, EC, much love. So, I seen D White popping off here earlier. We got a little group chat in it. He was going ballistic. And I'm like, man, sound like me. Like, what is going on here? And he's going off about all the details. He's tracking the whole Artemis thing. And I didn't even bother watching it much at all. I catch the clips and I seen all the hysteria and I gathered all that information. And I want to share that with you. So, NASA, never a straight answer. They said that they're sending a team up to the moon, right? So that's not what happened here with this, or what's happening. What's doing is, and this is what they're saying, they're slingshotting. Let me pull up, might as well go over here to the X profile, pull this up. And share with you. Here's a shot someone took of the launch. And it's just ironic because I said, look, this thing should be going straight on up. It shouldn't start hooking off to the side. Yet that's exactly what this thing is doing. And it's hooking hard. If it maintains that, I wish they would have kept the shot going. I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see the height of the arc. That's what I'm looking for. Once the thing hits a high arc and starts to curve over and bend over, nah, not buying it. But here's the caveat with this. Okay, they're not. For one, I thought I had an image here. I guess it's not. I guess I don't have an image. That I retweet. I'm always coming over here trying to show you stuff I've retweeted and it disappears like it's not there. Like all the time. So they say this launch is going to go out and around the Earth. Okay. It's going to circle around the entire planet one time. So right there, expecting to see it go straight up and toward the moon, it's not going to happen. Not happening. It's going up and out and around, which you could still track this thing. Anyone that had eyes on it. See, this has to be a coordinated event. At some point, maybe everyone to get it together here and they'll do that. They'll be like, okay, I got eyes on it here. I got eyes on it in Canada. I got eyes on it in Russia. I got eyes on it, wherever around the globe. So we know that this thing didn't just dump off into the ocean in its theatrics. See, if it's getting up to the subspace and it's wrapping around, it's going to come around like the ISS. You can still see objects in subspace, the satellites, all that stuff. Where things float, you can still see. It will come through. If that's the case, if it's wrapping back around, you should be able to track it and see it come back around in subspace. You see, all that's fine and dandy. We know things are in subspace. It's getting out past these Van Allen belts, radiation belts, firmament, if you will. That is all the talk. Okay? And you can send electronics through radiation belts, but you can't send human life, so to speak, that we know of through it. Thus, that's why I believe the whole moon thing, just looking at the footage, was a farce from back in the day. It's been over how many years? 70 years or something. So, the second key thing here is they're not going to the moon. They're not going to the moon. They're going around the moon and slingshotting back home. You should be able to see all this, though. You should be able to see every bit of it. With the moon lighting up so bright, this object, the Artemis, approaching, all of us should be able to see this. Yeah, everyone to stop and think about this. Everyone should be able to see this. Circling the moon in its entirety, you should see the reflections of the sunlight and everything else off of it. It should stand out clear as day. Clear as day. Going around the moon and heading back this way. You should be able to see it without a doubt. If no one has any shots of this, we got a problem. Major problem. We're going to start there with the problems. How do you bust them? All I know to do is get cameras and eyes on a launch through and through. It can only burn up fuel for so long anyway. If you can watch this thing in the sky and keep tracking it, like it takes off from Florida, you got someone down Cuba, you got someone down the Cayman Islands, someone down Brazil, all tracking this thing, right? Or someone in Africa. Everyone's got to step up and play their part. If that happens, we're gonna find out if they're pulling some trickery or not. Because the guys in Africa are like, we don't see it. We don't see it. Oh, we still don't see it. You're kidding me. Like, you should see it in the sky. Nope, we don't see it. If something like that happens and these things are going down the ocean, it's just a show. Like it's long been thought of to be. Like, you've got to show me something here. This is the age of technology. Look right on up in the sky. It should be cut and dry. But it's not. So this takes me back to D White going ballistic. Let me hop into this message, pull up some of the stuff he was showing. All right, so he's basically saying, sorry, way there. Kind of small here, but he has a tracker on his phone, and it was showing the miles of what this thing was. And it changed. And at one point here, it was at 13, and then it was at 9 miles. See if this image will blow up. And then it was showing this. It was cutting to this screen. Now, it's when it does this, I get really frustrated and I have a problem with it because it's like they're going in hiding. They got cameras at all angles, all over the place. You should just kick to another camera, but they don't. They're not. They're hiding stuff all day long. Any little detail, the horizon, anything in the background. I mean, there's so much going on out there they don't want us to see. So they kick to this stupid little animated image. Whenever this is going down, you know for sure something's happening. Well, something happened. And shout out to Pierre. Ron Morgan, thank you for the coffees. Shout outs to my man Pierre. J. Pierre. Check it out. He says a mist kicked off the top of this thing. He caught it when it was taking off. See this? So I don't know what happened. And people were even saying, making reference to like, is this going to be like Challenger and blow up? And then look, it's huge. It must like smoke, like the top of it was on fire. And they cut away to that image right here that I'm telling you about. What the hell happened at the top of this? There's not a ton of moisture and water up there just sitting around to cause some kind of plume like that. That's pretty wild, man. So I don't trust none of it, man. Like everyone's going bonkers and bananas, and rightfully so. If you've got footage, man, of any of this, let me know. Hopefully here within the next couple years, I'll have a setup to track this stuff. That's my goal, because if people don't want to rally and they don't want to ride against the beast, which we've tried to do for years and years and years, and everyone just sits there in their ass, they don't want to do nothing but just watch, well, then I'm going to go finding giants and try to prove what I can with what's going on with this place around us, from Earth to space. Launching the weather balloon, space weather balloon, we're going to do that once I get into position. And we're going to have a good telescope to track all this. That's the goal. And then we're the ones that can see it all. And, you know, they can come kill me. If they weren't going to kill me one way, then they come kill me another, huh? Right? You got to live legendary, man. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You can go, you can live and you can die. You can just be forgotten by next year. Or you can do things to make a mark. And to create a spark. That's my goal. I remember Pac a long time ago said, I'm just trying to spark. That person's going to change the world. And like, I feel the same way. I'm trying to spark someone, trying to reach the youth. Someone was talking crap, because trolls always come, you know, it's me. It doesn't matter what I post. But someone was trying their luck there at trying to piss me off in the chat when I posted my music video earlier. And they were like, oh, man, it sounds like something a 12-year-old would listen to riding on a scooter down the road. And I'm like, well, thank you. I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking to reach the youth. See, they weren't ready for that. But they won't let me reach the youth any other. You know, look at my analytics for anything under 18, like on YouTube, and it's a goose egg. It's 0. They cut it off. You know, it's ridiculous. They really fear the knowledge we have out there getting into the hands of the youth. So I would rather the kids learn all the stuff we're talking about now, like in school, instead of like 20 years later or more for some people. They live a lie the whole time. Well, get to know it now. NASA is part of a ritualistic club, big club. The alphabet gangs, they're just another one, just another alphabet gang lying to us and putting on a show. And it's on us. On us to go out here and get these answers in the coming years, starting now, because I am the one to do it. I am the one that can't stop. You need to be the same way. And together, we can do whatever. But it's the same thing with these feeds. Every single time that we get these animated little GIFs, when we've got state-of-the-art technology, man, they can zoom in. It's like a smack in the face, man. So, started off with that here tonight, the Artemis sham. And to me, it's all more ritualistic than anything. It's what it is. All these events are ritualistic in nature. When you understand how the enemy works, they're paying homage to the fallen in everything that they do. Everything that they do, okay? That's who they worship, the fallen. Artemis is Apollo's twin. Right in front of everyone's face. They're paying homage to giants. It's Nephilim. Right in front of your face. And they have, as long as I've been alive. There's always Apollo, because Apollo's the sun god, and god of all these other things. And I go on and on and on about that. It's the truth. It's who they want. It's who's here. It's who has the power. It's who's here. It's who our weakling leaders have bowed down to. They've bitched out. They've seen their strength, they've seen their size, their power, and they buckled. And that's garbage, because giants and Nephilim have been around for thousands of years. They've kept it hidden from you here recently, but not too hidden. It's right in your Bible. Look at David, crying out loud. David stepped up and fought the Goliath, man. That's what everyone needs to do. And it would be different if you knew they were here. But these things hide, right? The greatest deception Satan ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist, they say. Well, it's because they're hiding. But they're here. Everyone said it by now. Even Tucker Carlson came out and told his millions to follow him. They're here. Under the earth. In the ocean. They're here. They are here. They've been here the entire time. Your Bible says it. Never kept it a secret. Never kept it a secret. They did yank a bunch of books out of it, Jubilees, Enoch, all these really good ones. Book of Giants, Genesis B. Those are the missing puzzle pieces. And when you have them, you see what this place is. It's largely a puppet show. But if you want to know what's really going on behind the curtain and everything, then you'll figure all that out. You'll read all those books. You'll get that information. I try to share it with you all the time. The world definitely is not what it seems on the outside, and there's a whole layer behind it. That it's really fascinating. The history, the Indiana Jones stuff, the giants that are real, that are buried in all these mounds you can't go digging in. That's what's there. I got some game changers coming though. I'm not even gonna say it, because if I say it, they'll go and they'll make sure that we don't do it. So I'm not even going to say it until we do it. And then I'm still not going to say it. Similar to guy. Well, I won't say that neither. Some things out there must remain a mystery. And some people may never be able to claim certain events out there just because. Just because. And I'll leave it at that. U.S. gasoline prices. I told you, hitting $4. And people flipping out. And not just here, they're flipping out everywhere. So if we look around the world, what's happening? We got people geeking out in Australia. They're going to the pump, they're filling up every gas can they get their hands on, and they're like, no, you gotta stop doing this. People are like, there's no way. If I can get it for $4 or something now, I'm not paying $6 tomorrow. There's gouging going on. But then this is spread all over. You go to Thailand, they're rationing. People flipping out pretty much the same way. Like, we can't get enough gas. The price going through the roof in certain areas. And this is a spot where something's got to happen. Trump's got to make something happen here for the positive. And Skeepy again, man. Hey, and that's a good question. You know, until we the people send something up there and heading in and all that way, I can't say anything. All we can do is sit here and look and speculate. I'm one for trying to send something up to get answers, regardless, whether it surprises us, stuns us, confirms, or what. At least it will be the truth when we do it. We know no one will have lied or covered it up. That's the beautiful thing. But down here on Earth, that's all it is deception. And if anyone's got a good link for Trump's speech he's going to give here at 9 o'clock, let me know. Any of my cats out there on X, if you can find one, shoot it to me on X. I'm going to try to pull it up. I've got one here. I just don't know if it's an article on it. I just don't know if they're going to show it live when it goes live. I want to be able to show it at 9 o'clock tonight when it goes live. So here in about a half an hour, whenever Trump gives this speech, we're going to listen in and see what he says about this whole thing, see what kind of crap he spews, and then we'll dissect it, disseminate it, throw some discernment on it, and we'll have to just wait and see what he says, but it should be rather interesting pertaining to this. He's going to do one of two things. Ties into kind of what I'm talking about now, the global energy crisis. And to me, all he's been doing, it's just like 2 weeks, flatten the curve. It keeps getting drawn out. And he just keeps and keeps and keeps and keeps on doing this. But really, the people aren't bitching too much as long as gas was down and there was no blowback happening here in America. As soon as the blowback begins large scale, it's over. But it doesn't matter. That by that time, it's done. You better get ready for war because it's coming. They're bringing it here. They already have. It's just kind of delayed. Remember when Trump got in here, day one, he made an executive order, national emergency. Everyone was like, what? For what? For what? He's like, because of the cartels. Well, it took him over a year to even make a move on the cartels. We sat in a national emergency for over a year without anything happening with the cartels large scale. Okay, so it's begun. And the blowback, as soon as they're done with Iran, all the warships are coming back this way. They're going to surround the Caribbean again. They're going after Cuba. Moves will be made on Mexico. And as more drone strikes hit cartel inside of Mexico, there'll be blowback. Like, we're going to catch blowback from cartel, from jihadis, from all this, man. Crazy. It would be literally crazy to think we wouldn't. It'd be insane to think we wouldn't after all this. We're in war, man. Meat Puppet, thank you for the coffee. Much love. God bless. So, does he end this whole thing? I don't know. Even if he does, I could see him like us turning around and pull out of there, and then like them sinking ship, and then like us having to turn around and be right back in it or something stupid. it seems to me that they benefit more from the energy crisis right now. You're getting energy lockdowns, like we said, coming in all kinds of different forms. Places are rolling out laws that match this. Up in Minnesota, can't even drive your hot rods or your muscle cars or cycles on any day but a freaking Sunday unless you want a permit. Because you already see gas prices going through the roof. I told you, New York, energy lockdowns. They're proposing anything from 11 at night till 5 in the morning, everything shut down, can't like use any power. That's going to be a haven for criminals. And there's smaller places all across the country that are echoing the same thing, especially the Democratic ran places. That's the problem with the Democrat side. It's just, we say it's a left-right paradigm. It is, but there's stone cold facts of bad things the Dems rep over the Republicans that are treacherous, like wanting to come for your guns left and right. Let's just start there, and right there the buck stops. I mean, yes, they're both enemy, but like one definitely is going to go after certain things. So just think about it. Trump's put all these laws on the books, executive orders. Just wait till the Dems do get in there. They're going to use them to their advantage. It's going to be a nightmare for MAGA. They're going to go MAGA hunting. They're going to mysteriously get a voter roll, find everybody, all of MAGA that voted for Trump and where they live, and off they go. This will be a nightmare. I'm telling you. It's all part of the plan. They're going to turn the tables. You know, the whole MAGA thing's over anyway. It's depleted big time. Like seriously, I'm not just saying to like rip one on their dog. It's like it's done. There's not much of anything left of it. Just some of the big shills and stooges that'll stay there like all the way to the end. You see anybody over there still hanging out with Trump? They're protecting pedos in the open right in front of you. And we're over here with the killer connection. They're over there with the pedo protection, popping shots off in all the direction. Gonna kill off all the deception. Yeah. You better get ready for war. I'm telling you, echoing it. You're gonna feel this one when it drops. Maybe you guys heard a sample of it the other night. Anyhow, energy is just a tool to use to control the people. You can see here, expect electricity prices to rise further. Is it gas going through the roof? Is it electric going through the roof? Is it everything else going through the roof? Everything's rising but wages. Inopportunity. You can't sustain like this. Anyone that's got a nest egg or had money built up thinking they're going to ride through it, it's getting depleted. Once it's all depleted, you're in the boat with everyone else. It's done. The whole idea was to try to use the technology to the best of your ability to minimize all this damage. You want to start growing all your own food to minimize that, getting your gardens going, which they're trying to hurt you there right now. Fertilizer, it's all a ploy. Russia and China not sending out the fertilizer stuff, Straits of Hormuz stuff, right when we're planting. Like this was all timed out for a reason. And like our leadership is stupid. If not, they didn't think about this. Oh, you could just postpone the war, till after all of our crops got planted, then started your crap. But no, you didn't care about that. You didn't even think about that. Who doesn't think about that? Who doesn't war game and run scenarios out? Like they suck. They either suck or they did it on purpose. And I'm inclined to believe they did it on purpose. Okay? All this. Getting a solar set up is going to help you. I'm telling you. It's going to alleviate this headache. It's at some point, man, you're going to have to break away. Like, it doesn't matter. Wherever I go, live, ever in this life, move, go build something else, anything else. Like, I'll always have something solar tied in, without a doubt. Even if I'm connected to a grid somewhere, I won't live somewhere where you can't run off solar anyway. I will not be one of those people out there sitting in the dark because the government put me in the dark. And then I have solar panels on my roof. What kind of smack ass am I going to look like then? Oh, put blind faith in my government. Nope, it ain't going to be me. It ain't going to screw me. Have solar panels on my roof and sitting there in the dark. That's like, just take a snapshot of that. That's like, that's ignorance at its finest. You know, like, I don't know, you're not going to have much chance of survival, in my opinion, anywhere they're controlling these things. If you can't gather energy from the sun freely, if you can't collect water freely, you got an issue, man. Big time. Just think about it, man. Or find out the hard way. I don't want to see people find out the hard way. That's why I say these things. I'd rather see them get out of a bad area. Hopkinson, thank you. Because, hey, someone's got to man up and do it at some point. Someone's got to see the writing on the wall. You know, like I said it before, like one of my great-grandfathers, and yours too, somebody made the decision to leave their country and come to America. You see, someone had to man up and do it. Has to leave the area you're accustomed to being in, and all your friends and family you ever knew were in. It has to leave the nest for a better future, for your bloodline. That's a man, let me tell you. A woman. That's a real soldier right there. That understands it. So, be the change you seek. That's all you can be out there. Expecting someone else to come save the day is never going to get you anywhere. Next one. U.S. takes control of the world's largest cobalt producer in Congo. Interesting. They worked out a deal. I guess if he can't just go take it militarily, he's going to try to do something diplomatic. So this is just another plus for the U.S., but, you know, China's all over Africa and all these spots doing the same thing. And Gates wanted to block the sun. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew, for that. I appreciate the super chat. Energy security, they're saying, is a problem. And it's starting to show itself. This just makes me think they're going to, like, we know they're going to hit the grid at some point. But when? Like, when are they going to do this? I'm not sure we're ever going to have that answer. But oddly enough, years ago, like, I was shown this exact window in time when a lights out event would happen. So let's hope they don't attack or hit somewhere. Like a simultaneous attack on multiple grid spots. Because, I mean, it's just going to happen. Like, power's going to be out for everyone for, like, almost no reason. It could be bright, sunny day, anything. And it's not going to come up for a while. This event was not planned to be a quick fix. In my opinion, this event is made for suffrage. And it's a lights out event that can really be bad, because this is different than just a banking event. If they hold your money hostage in the bank, okay, they want you to get onto an app. Okay, that's their goal. That's what they're wanting you to do. Holding your money hostage, they're wanting you to get onto the digital new app and system. We already know all this. We've known everything. Okay, that's one thing. That they don't have to drag out large scale. It doesn't have to be too chaotic. They can present a fix right out the gate and just have everybody swallow it up. Like, here's the app. Just take the app. Everyone's going to snatch up the app, and it's over. The trap's done been set. Everyone jumps onto the new system without even questioning it. You see, that's one of it. If you do lights out, well, then we're not trying to get people onto anything like that. Then what's the goal? Then we want a high death rate. Simple. We want chaos. We want to thin the pack. And bring them to their knees is what you do with an EMP lights out situation. This is where when you have military vehicles coming through town, people are throwing themselves in them. Like, take me somewhere it's got a shower, take me somewhere it's got food, you know. So same people that were warning about, seeing all this, they're going to be jumping in the back of a truck heading to a camp. Didn't even have to be forced. Actually, the psychological effect turned the tables, had them jumping into the hands of their oppressors. Can you believe this? So energy, lights out's always been crucial. We've done music on it. When the grid goes down, you better be ready. We've done everything we could think of to warn about this event. It's going to happen. And this is why Trump's got all these data centers making sure they got their own power plants. It's going to happen like any time now, while they're all going online. It's obvious. Why else would you tell them to do that? You need the data centers to not skip a beat. You need them to be powered 24/7 and not go out. This is telling me they know the power's going to go out. And it's one of the red herrings sitting right out in front of everybody here. Like, he's executive ordered all these data centers to build their own power plants. They've never told no one else that in the history of the United States. That you got to build your own freaking power plant on the property. No one. The stupid ass Americans are sitting around like it's so dumb. When this place gets waxed, almost everybody that gets hit in it's going to deserve it. They had an opportunity. Everyone's got an opportunity right now. Everyone just looks past it. People could be out partying right now, many are, or they could be at home getting their grind on, getting their knowledge on, seeking for the truth before the window closes. So you have a chance, you have an opportunity. You could be out partying, doing all, or you could be seeking the knowledge. See, I made that choice a long, long time ago. It's in my 20s. Homies was out partying, going to the bar, going to this party, going to that party, going all over the place. I'm at home on the laptop. They come in the door drunk, 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm there doing my thing, getting my knowledge on. That's why I am who I am. And they are what they aren't. I mean, people still probably living the bar life if not dead. I don't know. But like, you can live that life or you can go after something else, man. Knowledge is not going to be here forever. Me here speaking like this, they're not going to allow it forever. When a big event happens on the other side of it, they'll wipe people like me out. For sure. Like, you won't even be able to go on the internet unless you have the biometric ID and all that to get into the system. You don't think that it's a whole reset. Like, they're gonna implement everything. To get into the new system, you're gonna have to jump through the hoops or get left out. Many people are not gonna want to be left out. They got bills to pay, kids to feed, all these excuses. When Beast makes its move, so many people are just gonna go right onto it. That's the thing. Doesn't matter how hard we try, how much we warn, the masses are gonna get pulled into this trap. It's like destined. I've tried all my time out here every day up to this very moment. And I will continue till I'm done and gone. But it doesn't matter. They've proven to me that, the whole process has proven to me between censorship and just the people out there not caring. You either cared and you went looking for it again, and you seeked out to survive and make it through all this, or you're going to get swept away. Almost like a flood. Almost like a big flood is coming, You can get caught in it, caught in all of it, or you could have had a plan all these warnings ahead here, like saying, hey, build you an ark, get ready. I've been trying to put out that analogy for the longest time now. That I feel like that's what God told me to do. Go build your ark, and like, as soon as it's done, like, as soon as the raindrops start falling, son, it's on. So, a lot of things going to shock people here. Aluminum going through the roof. So if you want to buy anything aluminum, guess what? It's going to be sky. The flip side, I would think, is for anyone that goes out there and cashes in aluminum or anything like that. Anyone that's got maybe bags stacked up in their backyard somewhere, like monster bags full of cans crushed or something, be a good time probably to go cash them in. I haven't been keeping. They don't have it listed over with everything else. Silver's at 76. Gold's at 48. They got platinum and palladium up there. They don't have aluminum. I keep stacking all of them. Copper, all of them. Anything get your hands on. Blue states are facing a mass taxpayer exodus. And it's still happening. Long after COVID, it just goes to show, the situation here. People not happy. Cannons in the house. Much love, brother. MC. XT. Job openings drop. It just never stops. Every single time. Oracle fires tens of thousands. Just never stops. Over. Serious cyber attack hits a day. Impacts phones. Public safety systems. Okay, this is huge. Huge news. Like the attack. The lemmings out there not saying it didn't happen in their neighborhood. They didn't hear about it in their boob tube tonight. Whatever. So they're oblivious to all this. But they're going to get blindsided by it. Because this is going to happen in their little town, their neighborhood here very soon. Anytime. As you can see, serious cyber attack. This is coming out of Pepperell, Massachusetts. They said that this attack affected several towns, all that share a regional emergency communication center. That this affected the Patriot Regional Emergency Communication Center in the associated towns, or towns of Ashby, Dunstable, Pepperell, Townsend. All said their police and fire departments were impacted by the attack to different degrees. Regional Communication Center is in Pepperell, but police in Groton, which is also served by the area, posted alerts on social media that lines for all their departments were unavailable. So you're talking someone went in and hacked in Massachusetts the emergency systems for all these towns, man. It's happening. This is an attack. Somebody's doing this. It's not a good guy. It's a bad guy for sure and trying to cause chaos. This is exactly what you would do. It's happening. So, heads up. If you see something like this in your neck of the woods, hear a little story, or if you even don't see a story, if you see it happening, you work somewhere, or you hear about it in town, you can let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. Least, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest. Get back over here and check a couple things. I just want to make sure that we're going to catch this stream. Open up my chat here and make sure. I just want to put the word out. If anybody's got a link to this Trump speech, please let me know. Drop me a link on X or email it to me for this live stream. It's popping off here in like 5 minutes or 9 minutes. But if anyone can get me a link to Orange Man giving this little speech here, let me know, because I want to I want to be able to cover it so we can at least see what he has to say and then go over it. So, not just cigarettes, vaping is likely the cause of cancer. A major study finds big time. Like I told you, it seems common sense. I quit smoking 2017, coming up on a decade, man. Wow. Time flies. It's crazy. Weird things were happening to me, and like I didn't have. It's when all this stuff started. Like, and I still have not got an answer. Can you believe that? It's been a fucking decade. I've been trying to find answers to what's wrong with me. Just had 3 MRIs here this past week. Still don't have answers, man. Got to see more specialists. Don't have no solid answers. But been facing it that long. It's because of this I quit smoking, because I didn't know what's going on. Quit smoking cigarettes, was like, the hell with them, put them down. It was like, it was stupid anyway, nasty. It smells like styrofoam to me now. It's weird. It took maybe a year or so, a couple years for that to kick in. But then once it did, it never changed. And like, that's what it smells like to me. I know some guys out here in these mountains, man. They roll around with these vaping rods, man. Good old boys, but they run around with these big old, they call them rods of God. They're big old, like you club somebody with them. You can beat somebody with them. It's their vaping machine. And it's this big old crazy looking thing. And they take us, when they take hits off of it, man, it's like a volcano went off when they exhale. It all smells good and all, but I can only think like, man, what are you doing to your lungs every single time? Well, here you go. Major study showing cancer through the roof. Smoke your medicinals is what I would say, and be good with that. And but thank you, Deanne. Keeping an eye open here, see if I can all right, David, did you come through? All right, I got a link lined up here, so make it. Thank you so much. We'll begin shortly. Here we go. Thank you, man. You're on it. On it. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up here on the side. As soon as we get some action, or here at 9, we'll chime in on that. Got about 5 minutes. If you don't know, we got updates on the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm gonna go back over this real quick because this has huge implications. They're trying to get this guy off the hook. They're trying to get him out of trouble here because they're saying you can't match the bullet that killed him to the gun that this guy had. I mean, they've got this guy running, jumping off the roof, all this other stuff, but they'll never be able to prove this because they can never say this. Remember, they came out and said that 30-06 bullet from like hundreds of yards was stopped by the skin. Stopped right below the skin. Couldn't pull it out. You couldn't cut the skin open to open it up and get the bullet out. Like, it's been the stupidest crap. The whole thing has. It's been a very crappy operation for them. There's holes all through it. All through it. You really saw the ritual side of it really bad right out the gate. They suck at what they do. And of course, the Mossad was surrounding the whole thing. So there's your, that's his everything right there. When the Mossad or the main guys on the premise, something like that goes down, get out of here. Like, you should know better by now. You should know better by now. Who does all this stuff? It's always the same ones all the time. There's no excuse. You should be called up by now. It's no excuse. And he wants to get their pom poms out over there for Israel because they think it's what their Bible said. No, no, you're tripping. This isn't that. You were fooled. This isn't God's people. This is the synagogue of Satan that we're talking about. That's fooled everyone. You are God's people. Of course, they won't tell you that. They don't want you to realize that, huh? You are the chosen one. Yeah. Remember, when Jesus touches down, it's going to wipe Israel out. Okay? Okay? If you believe in your Bible, you believe in anything, when the Most High returns, not one stone will be left unturned. You understand? And there will be the greatest earthquake the earth has ever seen. Like, what, a Mag 10 plus? That's what is prophesied to happen when he touches down. So whenever this mothership, the horse, however you want to see it, touches down Mount of Olives, as it's written on Judgment Day, the biggest earthquake that the world's ever seen will happen. That's going to be a huge event, man. Huge event. And there won't be much of anything left over there. Just wait till I drop this video. I made sure I've got the Most High in it. Yeshua. Yeah, you better get ready for war. I'm going to give you guys one more a sneak peek here because we're going to get ready to go to this video. I'm going to upload an image here. In the name of the Most High. Right here. Oh, it's got to shut down. It won't because it's widescreen. It's got the Most High right there coming in, and it's got bombs dropping, and it's got the army, and it's got him. I got him riding in on a horse. I get the whole thing, man. All right, let's go over. Get some volume going here in case it starts. International Guardsmen being denied re-enlistment for refusing the flu shot. I thought all these guys were supposed to be getting their jobs back and all that. Was that just a crock of crap to make Trump look good and all that? Probably. You'll tell them by their fruits. Let's see if they actually all get in. Oh, did you guys know that Chrissy Gnome's husband, cross-dressing drag, whatever you want to call? Like, I seen shots of this guy with big fake chest and all this stuff early, and like people were like, no wonder she cheated. Was she cheated? Like, apparently so, and it's all widely known. And this guy's a freak apparently as well. Like, I don't even know. Like, and I'm guessing they're together. Like most of these people are married in, tied in through the club. They all cheat on each other constantly anyway, and it's an open thing, and they don't care. As long as neither of them care, there's no destruction, right? That's why they remain together. It's insane, man. That's not the way the family's supposed to operate. Again, I've got this running over here. Give it a refresh, just in case. All right, we're still waiting. RFK says hospitals must serve healthier food, like prisons, like schools, like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, like, yeah, I mean, it should be healthy, period. I mean, right? Like everything. Not Bill Gates, lab grown meat. All right, if you guys don't know, Apparently, a helicopter or multiple choppers dropped in over Kid Rock's house. I seen a picture of it. Or two AH-64 Apache helicopters. Their crews got suspended because they stopped by outside of Kid Rock's house. Basically, buddies. Basically, had to have been. And Kid Rock waved, threw his hands up, and people were like, "Oh, they're gonna get in trouble," so they got him suspended. But then he got him unsuspended. He was like, "Nah, these guys ain't gonna get in trouble because my buddy is the commander in chief." And it's like not just he's not just like kind of with Trump. Like he's pretty good friends with Trump at this point. Like they're pretty tight, and in the club, without a doubt. Don't see Kid Rock up there saying, Mr. President, we should probably not,
Thank you very much.
Oh, here we go.
My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will
Give me a 5 by 5
substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb, and he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash, took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning.
And the only one I see.
Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Garbage.
Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth.
Garbage.
Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military crush their ability to support terrorist proxies and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job." Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait, and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated.
Here comes a check.
Both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it.
When they do,
they have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Get out of here. That's what I thought, punk. When I say something, you listen. Well. Let's have a little chat, shall we? Um, so I can't help but speak on all the liar comments, and as soon as I said that, I looked down and I seen it. I seen another one going by. Who was that? That said that Navy Brow Mom, much love. Um, what is that? What is that? Is it Russian? Much love. I see all the hearts and the love. It looks like it's Russian. I can't read it, but if it is much love, everybody out there checking in all over. Um, yeah, I don't know. We're all right. So what happens with me when I watch events like this, or I consume it, right? We watched it like first take. You watched it with me live, and there's always like a readout at the end, real quick. This is how I work, and like it'll throw things at me that like stand out. And one of the key things is all the time frames of all the wars. And he said we're on day 32, which means tomorrow is day 33. Okay. Um, let's see what happens tomorrow, but either way it goes, compared to all the wars, it's like you projected to me this thing could be drawn out a long ways. Because until you get close to any of those wars, he's putting it on the scale of all those wars: Korean War, Vietnam War, Iraq War, all the big wars, World War One, World War Two. He's putting it on the same front as those. Not a mention of Ukraine. We're going to get to that here in a second because it looks like that's potentially really coming to a close here. We'll see. Notice again, though, he is Trump likes to make things up like he lives in his own little world. Like he said, we've won, just because he says so. And he says, there's been regime change. All the other guys said, there's no way you ever have regime change without boots on the ground and this and that. But yet, we haven't done that. And he's claiming regime change. But by threat, that if these new people that are in power don't listen, he will hit their energy. If you attack the energy, you attack the people. And that is a humanitarian crisis, is what that is. That's not going after the regime. That's not hitting their nuclear facilities. That's now attacking the everyday people of Iran. When you hit that. And he even said, he went further and said, we haven't hit their oil, because if we hit their oil, they would never be able to recover from it. So if they hit their oil one time and they hit it and it goes up, Clark Island goes up in flames. If Clark Island goes up in flames, can you not see what's about to happen? All of the hell will break loose. Gas will go insane. Everything will go insane. You talk about the fertilizer, the food, everything shut down, straight to, like, it will go ballistic. Now, they won't be able to recover from something like that. He admitted it. So the people of Iran will be ultimately really screwed. And I see no hope for them. Now, remember earlier, he said 45,000 protesters got wiped out by the Iranian regime. Show me. I ain't seen nothing on that. There's open reporters and journalists and everything else that are in there. There ain't been nothing like that genocidal talk. We see a genocidal crap coming out of Gaza and all that crap all the time, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Right. Is what I thought. But We keep it pushing here. And what do we have there? What do we have there? Cannons. Oh yeah, yeah. At the very beginning, I was speaking on that. I'm not sure if you were here yet for that, but I did cover that very first thing out the gate, and I appreciate chat, brother, more than you know. I hope all is good. So I'm gonna keep it pushing, knocking out some of these news stories here. Johnson caves to Thune on DHS funding. And I point this out because remember, we're in an open war. He didn't come on here tonight and say, oh, the war's over. It's going to end tomorrow. And kind of telegraphed to me, he could go on for a minute. DHS is shut down this entire time. I got a huge problem with that. Everybody should. Our Department of Homeland Security is like nothing right now. Who does that? How does that happen? There's only one way that happens. It's if it's a setup. Yep. Something's about to happen. They're at a record on the shutdown now. The 45, 46, whatever. So Trump didn't mention much about pulling out of NATO in this little speech, but he's threatening out here in the open elsewhere that he will pull out of paper tiger NATO. And Jamie Dimon made a comment here in the White, and this kind of goes with the threats that got thrown out there today. If you missed it, today, Iran openly dropped threats on 18 different U.S. companies, tech giants. Iran says, you're all a target. From right now, this moment on, you're all an open target. Remember, they just came out and said tit for tat on universities. They named Meta, Google, Tesla, Amazon, you name it. And guess who else? JP Morgan. Remember, they've threatened everyone. Banks have been hit physically and wiped out with people in them. We just had Bank of America's headquarters have a dude with a bomb at the front door trying to light it. Dude, like it's going down. Things are happening. And they openly said, look, you're a target now. So Jamie Dimon comes out and says, we got to finish this thing. He says, finish it right. People are like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, we got to make sure this is finished the right way. And they're like, well, what is the right way? Everyone's asking, what is the right way? What is the end game goal here? And no one seems to know that. They're just kind of going along with it, just dropping bombs whenever, killing whoever, whenever, however, even the men that they had planned to be the new leader. Like, who does that? Who's stupid enough to put all the time, money, and resources? It takes years to groom someone, especially if you're going to have them be the leader of a country. And like, oh, you kill them. You kill them all. Kill them all. Not just one option, but like you kill like all the options. Like, they're stupid. Like, they're pretty stupid. This is a stupid war. It pisses me off. There's no justified reasoning for it. When we get hit with something, it's because they did all this. They've gone around 47 years, as they say here, threatening, because Iran doesn't have a Rothschild bank, that they're the big bad boogeyman. Right? So now they've killed the supreme Ayatollah spiritual leader. And all these other people, all that's going to be blowback. There's going to be massive blowback. Now what's going to happen? They didn't do nothing before. They didn't pull off no big event. But they didn't. But there's about to be. And It's like they've enticed them to do it. They've and it's going to happen naturally when you take out a spiritual leader. Most Christians are not like wrapping their head around it. It's like it might as well be like a high-ranking cardinal or even say a pope. Yeah, the Ayatollah Khomeini was there for, and in that realm, guys strap up and they go to war for what they believe in, and they wage jihad for quoi. Um, it's about to happen. American journalist gets kidnapped. It's already happening. What am I saying? It's happening. An American journalist, Shelley Kittleson, kidnapped in Baghdad. I don't know what the odds are here of her making it out of this alive. To be honest, it's not looking good. Frank, much love. Thank you for the super chat. It's not looking good. I hope and pray she gets released or they negotiate something. Because surely, I mean, problem is sometimes the wrong hands, especially with a woman that gets kidnapped, unless she's a high priority, someone could have their way with her and kill her and be done. They never find the body ever. Now, if she's holding information or they feel that they can negotiate with her, it's a different story. It bodes well for her living. But I don't know where this is going to go. Sometimes out there, I've learned as well in these situations, it reminds me of Serena Shim, Syria, about a decade ago. Citizen journalist, American, from Syria, there covering the war. And she was covering it like no other, getting the truth. And the government didn't like it. And next thing you know, she was killed in this mysterious accident, a car wreck. Took her life. And all kinds of people were pissed because they felt it was set that she was killed. And they silenced her. And like the same thing could potentially be happening here. I don't know the level of what she was reporting on, but anyone that's not, if you're on the front lines and you're not reporting back and playing the game the way that they want, they will eliminate you. Like the Mossad's nasty. So Trump just gave a speech, talked about that. No end in sight. Kind of talked in circles. He didn't show me that it was winding down. All the action doesn't show me they're winding down either. The Pentagon prepares an A-10 surge in sending all of them into the Middle East. When these things step in, the sound of it on the battlefield, like you know you're in war, and like it's like legendary, and it's got the shark painted on the front. They're going hard, so they're not backing up. They're sending more in. They're sending more in. The thing is if this extends out another 4 to 5 weeks, without a doubt, prices on everything will rise. They don't want panic to happen. And it looks like he's trying to keep calm. I don't know how the market's going to react to his speech there, because it doesn't show like a for sure end in the short term at all. Look at this. Israeli soldiers said they will not be participating on the ground. They will not provide ground trips if the U.S. invades Iran. Are you kidding me? So we get drug into this whole thing because of them, bombing, all this stuff because of them. And then when it comes time to actually have to finish and do things proper and like send boots on the ground, they want our boys and gals to get killed. This is exactly what they want. I'm sick of it. It's a setup again. And how the American people are cool with this, I don't know. Maybe when their son or someone comes home in the coffin, then you'll be pissed. And we've been telling you the whole time who the real enemy is. Keep them home. Educate them on where the real enemy is running this world. The real demons. The real pedos. The real truth. There's no excuse now. You live in a different day and age than your grandparents and everyone else. People that served. You know the truth. Without a doubt. There's no excuse. So, this is ridiculous. Pisses me off again. Just wait till they come home dead. You know, because of what? Israel. BB. Orange Man. That what you voted for? You think this was going to happen? Yeah, it's happening. Amazon, their cloud unit in Bahrain disrupted, hit again. I told you. They're going to start hitting these things. And disruptions more and more. And it's going to be more large. They went through their low-grade drones and missiles in the bottom. And Trump spewed a lot of lies by trying to wipe out all the weapons and hardly anything to shoot them left. Garbage. They got plenty of places. Matter of fact, Iran's got so many. They're hitting all throughout the desert. You can't even see them. They pop up right when they're going to fire. So there's no way to detect them. And they've not even got into their baddies, man. Like their best equipment, their best weapons. They haven't even done it yet. I expect to see that start to roll out in the coming weeks. If it extends that long, and I project it's going to, this could be really bad. This is going to cause for a bad crop season in the U.S. Just wait till the end of the year. Things going to be way worse. Even if the war, it's caused so much damage in delayed fertilizer and all that. Like when it comes to planting and crops, you have to hit the window or you miss it. They're missing it. Seems somebody planned all this. And I'm not stupid. I know you're not. I can see this from a mile out. I don't know what it is. You see that on YouTube? They just drop 50 plus people like whenever they want randomly, just constantly, and just pop them right back in and then take them off and then pop them right back in and right back out. And at least we're streaming, right? I'm going to say something. They're going to cut the stream. All these past few streams, they've done something. The stream's been disrupted somehow. A couple times, right, when I've said something about it. But let's keep it pushing. Try to knock all this out here by the top of the hour. Israel halts arms purchases from France. So now this whole thing's, heading. We have a falling out with France big time. Well, Macron's left leaning and all this other stuff anyway, and they seem to be going the other way. We seem to be leaving them with a situation with Ukraine here where they're going to have to deal with it. So let's go to Ukraine. Get an update real quick. 29 killed in one of the worst Russian military air disasters of the war. Apparently, the aircraft slammed into a cliff outside of Crimea. So it wasn't it was more accidental, I guess. They say that Putin is winning. Ukraine in its position is weakened. And Zelensky is admitting all this, saying that the whole prolonged Iran war thing is depleting everything that they got there. So again, it looks like it's going to serve as it goes on, Iran, a shutdown mechanism potentially for Ukraine. It doesn't mean something crazy can't happen still, because it can. They haven't negotiated nothing. So Now, let me come to our national defense. The Pentagon is weighing anti-drone laser weapon deployment within DC. All of a sudden, something's happened here within the past, especially since the beginning of the war with Iran. Drones have been popping up all over the place. All the border, there's been different events where they had laser weapons trying to take them down. NOTAMs put up separate events. Then the whole sophisticated mystery drones that have been coming through over Barksdale. We've got waves going over Louisiana for hours on end, and our military could not or would not shoot them down, would not or could not shoot them down. Just, I guess, watch them for hours on end. As waves went by and then disappeared, could not track where they went to, could not take any of them down. That's what's happened. Now, that base houses all of our nuclear stuff, missiles, the B-2s, B-1s, B-52s. It's a super critical base in waves of mystery drones. Not with FAA lights this time. They're saying that they're connecting, per the headlines, to Chinese drones. But if that's the case, like, dude, that's not good. But Uncommon, one of my mods, right there, he, down there in El Paso, he's caught, like, the frequencies of the military drone, the Chinese military drones being flown in the sky. He's got a device that shows all the things in the atmosphere, in the sky, and the frequencies of them. And it shows it's an awesome little device, I think. And he's shown it several times. And he's picked up in the atmosphere that there's different drones, military especially, being flown. And we know this because we know the bandwidths, the ranges in which they fly. So if you pick up something that only flies at 1,000, then you know that it's that, for instance. And that's what it gives away. It gives away that their signature. You see, we can use technology to our advantage instead of sitting here blind. And people just cared and tried and looked into things further. Shout outs to Uncommon for doing that. I was amazed to see that. I think it's awesome. I'd love to have one of those devices. And if he was in here, I'd ask him for the name of it. I don't think he's in here right now. We'll ask him again in the future. He said it before. Comes in handy, especially if you're down by the border, or if even DC, you're in an area where mystery drones are popping up. You can bust this thing out and you can at least see kind of the frequency range. Or maybe these things aren't giving off anything. And if that's the case, if you've got visuals on any one of these mystery drones that don't have any FAA lights and you don't get a frequency, you're dealing with the brand new, the crazy ones. They're like a UFO, like a UAP. They have an internal system that's unlike anything we've ever seen. They can't be down. They can't be tracked down. They outrun all of our aircraft. We don't know what their fuel is, what the fuel mechanism is. All that's top secret. But they're floating around. Now, all of a sudden, the Pentagon wants lasers. I'm telling you that when the Pentagon and the military is busting out their laser weapons all around the border and around DC, you better get ready. And you see what it takes. It takes this to stop them. Lasers. What's the next one? I think I got one more lined up on this. Oh, U.S. firms boost the production of precision anti-drone systems. You think somebody knows something? Somebody's expecting something? An influx of something? Production? Boosts production? of Precision Anti-Drone Systems, Florida-based company, accelerating production of powerful systems that can counter small drone threats. It's called Vampire Counter Unmanned Systems. It's nice. I'd like to actually tell me you guys they don't have a video on it. Damn. That's a tight setup there. They got it on a Humvee, but I can imagine you can set it up on you can mount it on any platform on the back of a truck bed or anything like that. Wow. I'd love to see that in action, man. But they're making a bunch of it like, hmm. I don't know. Anti-gravitics, yeah, that's a whole another animal there. You know, all of this, and I'm going to end with this story here. This is about again, it's one more breadcrumb toward disclosure. Remember, they told us it was going to be a multi-year thing. Okay, they told us this back last year, beginning of last year. Greer came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh yeah, we got these black shadow op guys and blah blah blah. And they're going to come out," and they showed us crazy stuff. I'll give them that, and they started disclosure. It's already begun. It's begun large scale. They went in front of our government. They showed them video of eggs with hieroglyphics that they've recovered in Antarctica and in crazy places. Our military, on record, showed them. We seen it. We seen the footage. Then they showed the world. Again, everybody. They showed everybody. They shot one of these UAPs with a Hellfire missile and they blew it to pieces. And those pieces kept flying with the original craft. Which is wild. They showed us this. Okay. So these are breadcrumbs being dropped, right? Then they drop a documentary called The Age of Disclosure, and it was huge. So it was a huge documentary for all the people to see. So they went in front of Congress, they went in front of the government, and Greer come out and basically said, "Man, there's only one thing left to do. The president. Well, he disappears, goes into the shadows, just recently showed back up. And they like, oh, well, Steven Spielberg got a brand new movie coming out. What's it called? Disclosure. And it's about to drop. So you've got now this, what I'm about to show you, being the most recent breadcrumb. And then when the movie drops for Disclosure, it's going to be a huge one. Okay? But also in the mix, what's just happened here recently? You had several people saying that Trump was going to come out with Disclosure. You had Laura Trump come out in front of everybody and say, "Oh, Trump's got a speech that he's going to give." What? Everyone said, yeah, they've dropped all the breadcrumbs out there one by one. So Trump's got a speech. He's going to be giving it. You think he would miss that moment in time and opportunity in history? Give me a break. Like, he will be the one. It's known. They put it out there. All these things, they're here. Tucker Carlson came out and told the millions that watch him, they're here. If you missed it, go look it up. They're under the ground. They're in the ocean. They said this. It's not a secret no more. Just for people that are living under a rock or in La La Land. Like Tucker and all them took it mainstream. All that to Congress was mainstream. People are they're oblivious to this. They're idiots, to be honest with you. They're stupid. They've dropped Disclosure large scale right in front of us for anyone that's got a brain, and you can see what they're doing. We know that they've been here. The Fallen's been here. The Tears have been here amongst us the entire time. But it seems they're also close to actually making this massive announcement. And it's going to be pure deception. Everything we've ever warned you. Just saying. So, I'm gonna play this couple clips so you can see the latest here on the breadcrumbs they're dropping Benny the Shill here with Gates.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered, and like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public.
Okay, let me back it up. Do you see what he just did there? If he would have came out and just used different words, the whole thing would have stuck and took off a different way. If he would have came out and just said aliens, the magic word, when we know they're not aliens, they're fallen. But if he would have just said key words, it would have hit different. Instead, he starts off saying biologics. It completely throws the subconscious of some people, a bone. It throws them for a loop. Like they have to sit there and kind of chew on that for a minute because it doesn't hit like aliens. You see what I'm saying? Like straight to the point of what's going on. He beats around the bush, so to speak, with his verbiage instead of just getting straight to it.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered, and like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time.
It's impossible to get them to do anything coordinated, right? Because it's a scam. All right, so do you see what he's done here? Again, biologics in this. They've come out. Both of them use the term. Neither one have said alien either time. Like, they're saying non-human biologics when they actually start talking about the crazy of crazies. They're telling you right now that he's dropping the seed that there's a whole nother species being created. Again, how I work and operate, when I take a story in and listen to it exactly and I extrapolate all the information, key things jump out at me at the end. Well, I'm doing it again. I do it with every story, and I'm doing it with this one. And the key thing that jumps out at me here is that they're dropping the seed right now that they know that there is black sites, if you will, whatever you want to call them, at least 12. I mean, he knows all this information, right? Where there is interbreeding. So they're coming out and telling us deep, crazy stuff here before they even show us them. Okay? He's already saying that these entities, these beings, the fallen that are here, they're already crossbreeding with humans, creating another race. So you thought, our own kind selling us out was bad. Yeah, you thought that was bad. And then having to deal with another species, like the fallen and all that crap was bad. But then and then AI is bad, replacing you, replacing humans. AI in itself. But now a whole nother species. Like, what would be your point? Like, and why here? Would you even choose or want that? So someone's playing God. Okay, obviously at this point. This is super scary because anything I would think, I mean, anything bred like that could potentially, look human and blend in and already be happening. And they would be probably some of the more dangerous because they would blend in. Anything they could blend in. This is what takes me to the passage in your Bible of the wheat and the tare. Jesus said, this harvest time, he spoke in analogies, right? And he spoke on the separation of the wheat and the tare. When he gets back, he will come back, he will gather up everything. The dead in Christ will rise first. He will gather all of them, everyone. You can't hide from them. You won't be able to hide. Not inside the earth, in the ocean, nowhere. All the tares will be gathered. It says it, and put in one area to burn the tares. He will gather his people, and then he will gather the tares. These tares are mixed in that look just like us, just like wheat. That's why he gives the analogy of the wheat and the tare and the separation of it. That moment is going to come. And you got to remember, this place got wiped out because why? Why did this place get wiped out? Because they brought upon this planet some crazy creations that were basically forbidden, that were too much. Right? God wiped it out, flooded the place. We know this. Next time's by fire. Got so bad, okay, because of these creatures. What were these creatures? What were the Nephilim? What were the Nephilim? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're repeating it. They're repeating it. I got chills. That's what he's telling you. It's literally the Nephilim. It's the exact ones. How? Because it was the fallen, same characters, same ones they're about to introduce to you, same ones. They came into the women of this planet and they bore the Nephilim. Giants. Oh yes, they did. That's it. That's what happened. There, he is telling you the same thing is happening. The fallen, these entities that are here, are breeding crossbreeding with humans, the same thing that happened in your Bible as in the days of Noah. Man, you're living in it. You're living in it. They're already doing it. They've been telling you this. They're making Nephilim. And you want to know why and how they can make Nephilim and get away with it? Oh my gosh. All right, man. We're running deep, but this is it. Run it back. Let's run it back. All right. This place got wiped out. Because of the Nephilim. Some Nephilim survived the event. Okay? It's just everybody's got to get on the same page with this. There's a reason. Okay? This whole planet was affected. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And these giants were here. What happened and what was going on? Humans were here. Okay? What they called humans at the time were here. And these beings came down, the fallen. And they were not supposed to do, well, they broke the rules. They weren't supposed to do a lot of things. It's like forbidden things that were not supposed to happen. And you could argue that, like, ultimately somewhere, the Most High knew there was a good probability that some of these things were going to happen, because when you create two creatures that are sexually compatible, something's going to happen, dude. And it did. And they couldn't help themselves. The fallen that have been hidden this whole time, that are here, they are the ones, remember, that are about to step out of the shadows. They are the ones. They are the ones doing all this. They're here. But tell you all the time, they're the fallen. Okay? They came into their women. The women had giants. Literally. Offspring that grew to be giants that devoured everything around the planet. Everything, even the people. They consumed so much there was nothing left. So what happened? The souls of the planet started crying out to God. You need to understand this as well. This is how this planet works. This is how this life works. They're hinting to you and showing you here how the whole reincarnation thing of soul works here. First off, they took a bunch of books out of the Bible, Enoch and all that, and explains this stuff. There's places in the rock that they made for souls and spirits to go to when they die. Evil spirits, good spirits, and like a hall where you can, of complaints. Abel's there. In the story of Enoch, he tells all this. He tells how Raphael took him there, and he was shocked to see Abel there. The Cain killed, first murdered person, crying to God in this chamber for still to this very moment, to that very moment, for God to do something and destroy Cain's seed in bloodline for his wickedness. Still, and like Enoch was shocked, and it was shocking to see it and hear it in the story, because the first person murdered, his soul, he's right there. He's in this chamber. And Raphael explains this is where this is where the souls come that got a complaint to God. So this is what happened. That same chamber, all the souls gathered in there, calling to God, saying they don't want to incarnate into this plane again because it's so evil. Okay? As soon as they get in, they get eaten by a giant. Sounds crazy, but it's the truth. It gets wicked, insane crazy. more crazy than people's imagination can even handle, probably. But it got wild. It got out of hand, and the souls didn't want to come in here. Okay, God heard these complaints, these cries. Okay, heard the cries, and said, "You know what? It's too much. This planet cannot handle those giants." Which you're telling me that's what they're remaking right now. So the flood happens. Not all of them die. The book of giants that they stripped from your Bible tells how God sent the archangels, Michael and Uriel, Raphael, to mountaintops to prepare places for the good giants that listened. This is where it gets mind-blowing, because it describes the size of the giants back then and the mountaintops and the areas of where they took them. Okay, and if the whole world would have been flooded, even the water, all the way up to all the mountaintops, with the height of the giants standing on those mountaintops, their heads would have looked like, but stayed above the water where they would have lived. That's crazy. That's what it says. Okay, so those giants, a handful of good giants that made it through in this process, they made it through. So all the rest get killed, wiped out, right? But there's a problem. Those giants were entities, conscious entities. Understand? You and me are conscious entities. We're in a vessel. You're in a body that dies, but you live on. Your consciousness lives on. Same thing for all life forms. These beings, their souls, as soon as they died, the Nephilim, God said when the water receded, this is when our world began, basically. Go read your Bible. It's at this very moment they tell you that man had his years cut to 120. So somewhere in a lab, somebody redid us. Noah, all the cats, Methuselah, all the cats that lived up to that flood point, they all lived hundreds of years. They were different than you and me. This isn't a secret. They didn't keep it hidden, but it's hidden in plain sight. People just don't use their minds. It's right there. They told you. They told you. They told you that they described it. This very moment, something happened. They cut our human lifespan down to 120. It's critical. They told you this. This key moment in time. And it was right when the flood waters came down. They redid man. This is why digging up any body that is pre-flood, any giant, any mound, is critical. They're not human. They're a different species, man. It tells you right there. It's not hidden. It tells you it's in plain sight. Noah was a different species. Call them first human. We are like second human. We are different. And no one distinguishes this. No one talks about this. No one brings this up. In the open, it's the truth. Stop and think about it. Marinate on it. Stop and think about it. Everything I'm telling you, go look it up. No one ever stops and think we were redrafted as a human species at this moment. Little old us. That's the truth. Right there. Period. That's what it says. I'm just putting it in black and white, making it clear to see. Do you understand? This is why when they're going in all these ancient places like Iraq and you hear that they dug up Gilgamesh, they're digging up a person that is different. They're digging up a giant, basically. That's why that is so important. That's where you're going to find the truth from here. Underground. In the ground. You're going to dig it up. That's where all the truth is left. They can't stop you. They cannot stop you. Now, if you go find something, you got a choice to make. You keep your mouth shut and you've discovered the truth for your life. You can go on with no problems. Or you can take that discovery to the world and you're going to have some problems. It's just the way that it is. We know the giants are here from the stories right here where I sit in Kentucky that are on record to the museums all across the country. All the mounds all across the country. All the way to Lovelock Cave. The stories there. Places you can go to right now. Visit and see. They have the stories. The giants are real, man. Okay? All that's real. Okay? So, the giants are killed. Wiped out. The Nephilim. Not all giants. There's different breeds of giants. I'm assuming here. This one breed was wiped out. God said, this is what I'm going to do with you. You're going to test man, the new breed of man that we just made. You're going to test them every day. You see, this is the part you weren't taught in school. This is the part that you should have been taught on how this whole world works. It was put in your good book, but people just don't read it. I'm breaking it down for you. Okay? This world works is how it works. You wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. Heard that before, right? But it's true. Because of right here, what I'm telling you. Why does that passage ring true? Because of what I'm about to tell you. What I'm telling you right here. The Nephilim that died, God said, your spirit, you will test man from here on out. That's your job. You ain't going nowhere. Your conscious energy, your soul energy, you're still right here. You, the jinn on the other side, a whole hierarchy under Satan, will test man all that stays. That's how this place works. If you're never taught any of this, you can never see it. You can never see what's happening to you. But this is what's happening to you every day. Whether it's drugs, sex, material items. These temptations that come into your mind are brought upon by these spiritual beings. They were given power by God Almighty to do it. So don't wonder why this place is this or that. It's designed this way. They told you this much. Okay? So, life starts rolling right after the flood waters recede, right? All these people start to populate out. And it gets hellacious quick, super quick. The Nephilim, in all their power, are too much. They're too much. Remember, they were too much for this world in the physical. And now they're still here. Their energy, their influence on this realm from the other side, they're still here, full force. And they're causing all hell. Noah prays to God and asks God to stop it. Says it's too much. They can't handle it. Stop them. So God sends the archangels down. And God commands, take them and do away with 9/10 of them leave 1/10 of them to do the bidding. So this is an important thing because God sent a higher power, a higher angelic power, life force down to check them, removed 9/10 of this ominous Jinn force, like Ghostbusters or something, locked them away somewhere, and only left 1/10 to challenge man. That is what we deal with right now, all the way to this moment. That's who you're dealing with. There's actually a hierarchy. They have names, faces, all of it. There's books on it. You can find this knowledge. You can know the knowledge. You don't have to worship it. There's a difference. You don't live this life as a chicken shit. You understand everything that's out there, the good, the bad, and everything. And there's consequences to everything. But you need to know how it operates. You need not be scared of all of it because it's witchcraft, and run the other way. Go be a chicken shit. You're never going to figure this out. I'll sit here and understand that my enemy casts circles and talks to these jinn. And that's how it all works. And I'll figure the whole thing out instead of being a chicken shit. Your fear is what screws you right out the gate. So, this is how it works. Look no further than Solomon. He was the Lord of the Rings. He even made a damn freaking movie to try to rub it in everybody's face. All these things to show you how this works. He was the Lord of the Rings. He was the master. He was the one that had it all and screwed it up and got stripped of it. He controlled what? The jinn. Do you now see how this place works? Jesus said you can go on to do greater things than he. But you got to know how it works. They're manipulating energies and influencing things around you, polarities and energies. And it seems like magic, but it's not. It's basically a science they kept hidden from you. And they're using it against you. But I'm giving you the keys to see it. And once you have these keys, the black magic no longer works. Because the one way it works is your unawareness of it. When you know it's there, you can see it, you can feel it, you can break it. And that's where it begins. There's someone here always watching, good and bad, so to speak. But these things are here for a reason. I had a hard time understanding this in the beginning until God showed me and forced me to understand it. He took me in a vision years ago to a place like the video game Doom, into a chamber in like the pits of hell, in front of this, a thing I could barely see. It was so dark and crazy, but it looked like a dinosaur, almost sitting like in a big throne. And it was looking off like to the left. And the presence that took me, the Holy Spirit that took me there says, do you respect my creation? And my first response was like, I do, but I don't worship it, And I got scolded like immediately. Because it said it was like, I didn't ask you if you were to worship it. I didn't ask you. I asked you if you respect my creation. And then I realized at that moment what it was wanting me to see. That he made it for a reason. And understanding this is crucial and critical. So I'm sharing it with you. So this whole thing is made in a way, these entities, the devil himself, made this whole place as a test. So don't wonder what it is. Without a doubt, it's a test. So now that you know, because you've been shown, it's designed to be a test, then don't fail it. Entities are put here to test you. They're designed this way. Pass this test, then. That means that you now know every little thing that pops up on you is from them. You now are blessed. You now hold a power. Just knowing is the power. You can begin to fight back. You can cast the mountain away. You can know who's breathing on you, who is trying to suck your energy, your loosh. Stop for a second. You can feel them around, the presence, because I can feel the presence of higher energy watching all times. I know the good guys are watching too. And they send me little innuendos. That's my 1111s, my 144s, my 222s throughout the day, and I get them daily all the time. That's the other side now. Do you see now? Do you now see how this place works? Do you see? There's rules to the game now. To where, unless there's divine intervention, other entities are not just going to step in, especially if people don't believe in or call upon them. Good angels are not going to help. And demons are going to constantly keep testing. Now, what's crazy is this is what they all worship right in front of you. Do you understand this now? This is what Trump worships. Apollo's on his wall, statue on the table. His whole ceiling in this penthouse suite is like a cathedral. Like walking into like some Roman cathedral. The whole ceiling's painted up, and guess who it is? It's all the fallen. Artemis, Apollo, Zeus. The fallen. It's who they worship. You won't find a picture of Jesus nowhere in that penthouse. Go look. Go look. Don't worry, I got a video in the lineup if you want to go look. It's right there. Shows the whole thing, goes over all of it. This has all been known. And there's video out there, fresh within here in the past couple of years. Trump's on video saying, I'm not a Christian. Because he's not. Okay? They look at Christians as fools. I mean, just Americans and the people as goyim, period. But one thing is true. And it's not just wish-washy bullcrap. And some dude, fakery. Jesus and Messiah is real. Okay? It's real. I'm not saying that on hope and blind hope. Faith. Just break it down scientifically. He has to. There's an opposite to everything. You atheist? You on the fence? You trying to figure this whole thing out? Well, let's start there. The jinn and the evil are real. If you want to deny that, just shut up. Let's get out of here. It's the evil in the hierarchy is right in your face. You know it's real. There's an opposite to everything. Okay? There's a mirror to every atom. Let's just start there. By default, there has to be a good guy. Do you understand? Does it click in you now? Because this is why you should laugh. Like, because you realize there has to be. There absolutely has to be. No matter if they lied to you about his name, he's there. Just as Satan is there, he is there. The good guys are there. And I'm here to remind you of it, to wake you up. Only very few will get this. Only very few will get the keys. And I don't know, in this life cycle, where they clamp down, when another time's going to come along, if you cycle back in, you're going to have a chance to capture all this knowledge. You live in an information age. They're going to clamp down and do away with that here in the future. You live in the last days of that. And then all this chance to understand all this knowledge will be lost because it'll be locked away. If you cycle back in, and someone will have to teach you this. You could your whole life not knowing again. I ain't doing that. I'm doing it all right now. I suggest you get it in. You now know this place. You know the construct of this place. In the future, from here on out, we'll work on what you can do to impose your will on this place. Because you speak it all into existence. Happy, much love. It's the truth. Thank you for that. You speak everything into existence. That's the other part of the magic. What's the very beginning of your basic instructions before leaving Earth say? And so easy a caveman can understand it, that God spoke everything into existence. And when they asked God, what is your name? What did he say? He said, I am. Why? So at this moment you would understand that you are God living in this vessel. You are a slice of the pie. In this experience, you best represent it well. You're eternal. You are eternal because you are a piece of that eternal God. That life force energy that burns in this body. You drop the body, you still live. This is a soul catch, regurgitation trap. Albert Light might say, don't go toward the light, is where I'm at with it. Because it cycles you back in. And the moon plays heavy in all of this. And this is all known by the upper elites and the ancients. This is why your consciousness is wiped every time you come in. It's designed this way. Again, it's designed this way. You're born into a sack of amniotic fluid. I've said it many times. Amnesia fluid. Amniotic fluid. Go look it up again. Look it up. Go prove it to yourself, dude. This is how it works. But I am the one that come and unlock you. I am the one that came and told you when no one else would or could. This is how it works. And when you say I am, you are too. Because we are of the same stardust. It's time you realize this and you put it to use. Instead of being old and finishing this life out, just not ever figuring it out. Like, you got time on the clock. There's time to do it. There's time to put this into motion. And it works. Affirmations, all these things are just a part of it. Okay? Believing is the real. Okay? Believing, speaking it. You have to correct everything that you do. You have to stop saying all these bad things. You have to stop saying, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so sick of this." Every time you get pissed off, I know you do it. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of that. You know you're saying it to yourself. Every day you know you are. I know you are. You know you are. You got to stop it. It's the hardest thing to do. But that's why this is a test. So when it's put upon you and you're like, catch yourself. Say, I'm so over this. You have to start to correct the rhythm. Jesus left you a pattern to follow, to replicate. Do you understand? How many of you are doing it? How many are doing it, man? You've got jewels out here. I throw them out here all the time. I throw this out there all the time, all this knowledge. I've met very few people in this life that have actually put it to good use, actually done it. And I've watched them. Some sit close around me in this tight circle. They can actually call a friend, and I've watched it. I've watched the magic of it. I've watched them believe and do it, and I've watched it happen in their whole life and around them. They're a living, walking testimony of it. As I sit where I sit only because I believe and I spoke it into existence. It everything taken from me. Everything. Not a pot to piss in. And I still believed. I never lost faith in because of it. Because of it. God delivered. But it's a constant test. You're all tested. You all have something. You think everything's going fine. All of a sudden, the next thing, something pops up. It's always something. Why is it always something? Because it's designed that way. It's designed that way. So if you're someone out there that's sitting around, you have peace every day of your life, everything's good, family's taken care of, like you really are blessed then. But you shouldn't be sitting there wasting time. You should be out helping others. Someone's watching all of this, man, and taking notes on all this. We all have a recorder that you can't lie about in the end. In judgment, you just rewind it and hit play. It's very easy. So everything that you do here it has everything to do with where you're going. It's not to sit here and sin, think, I believe in Jesus, he'll forgive me, let me. That ain't how it works. No. I wouldn't do it. Come on. No righteous. No one's going to sit there. This whole thing is about proving righteousness. And if you don't want to hear that, then get out of here. I don't care what you want to hear. Most people just want to hear what they want to hear. I'm telling you, you better shape up if you want to ship out to a righteous place. To quit being a bump on a log. Start doing righteous deeds and things. He said you'll tell them by their fruits. Do something for your record. Well, what did you do in this life? Well, you just sat there in your plush, nice, cush living room, in your air conditioning, eating your fruits and veggies with your dog every day, doing this every day. Had all this knowledge every day. I mean, flip the page every day. Maybe flip it every day. Like, what did you actually do in your life to go out and help anybody? That'd be damn embarrassing to be in front of the Lord and have nothing to show or say. You don't even have to say anything. He's going to look at your life. Dude, you've got a chance right now. Glass warning. People better shape up. They want to ship out. And yeah. You've got right there is so much game-changing, life-changing knowledge if you apply it, that it's like a wrecking ball to everything else. It's your key. You know, you do have a power. Jesus gave you power over all these entities. Lucifer didn't like it. None of them like it. They don't like the fact, but God created man, created us, and we were his prized possession. That is the truth. And they don't like it. You know, Genesis B says how he made Adam and sat him out to dry, made of clay, and Lucifer kicked him. and it reverberated, kind of like a bell. He kicked him, pissed, because he said he wasn't bound down to a lesser creation. That's what they see us as. Steal our women and screw our women and all this other crap and treat us like crap. They hate us. You understand? They have to find a respect. God told me you should respect my creation, right? And I understand it. And God, I do. I respect your creation in this whole thing and all the life forms in it. And obviously, I don't worship the evil. But do they respect me? Shouldn't this be a two-way street then? And we have power over them through the Holy Spirit. You can control all of them. You know this, right? And see, Jesus did it, a master running out all the demons. Solomon did it. And see, Solomon did it through an open process that some can associate with witchcraft or whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. Again, get the heebie-jeebies and run from it. Or understand how it freaking works. He casts circles. And understand there's rules to the game. Again, if you're oblivious to all this, then yeah, you can sit over in the corner and shiver and shake all scared. Okay? But Solomon, in the story of Solomon, another reason the Testament of Solomon, it's not in your Bible, it clearly shows you that you can control the jinn. You have power over them. And Solomon will cast a circle. He will call upon whatever, the hierarchy, whoever he wanted. Azazel, whoever. Azazel's a famous one. The Knights Templar later built a statue. You can look it all up off the History Channel. Why? Who was the statue of? In a little church after they found all the stuff at Solomon's Temple, it was Azazel. What did the Knights Templar find at Solomon's Temple that made them the baddest dudes on the planet? Through his spells. This knowledge, man. The fact that they could tap in and communicate with the jinn, and the jinn would do things from the other side, and all the rest of the people in this world have no clue, and they're oblivious to it. Do you know that Western Wall that they all go and stick their tongue in and all this other crap in Israel, that Western Wall, why is it so special? Because it's said to be the last remaining wall, the only remaining wall of the original Solomon Temple. And why Solomon's Temple is so important? I'll tell you why. You ever read the Testament of Solomon? If you haven't, put it on the list. Listen to the audiobook tonight. Fall asleep to it. The Temple of Solomon was built by jinn. By jinn, not man. And the whole Testament of Solomon tells you this. Solomon wasn't able to use the jinn because there's rules to the game against his enemies. Couldn't use them to go wage war, to kill, to do these things. There's rules to the game. Get to know them. Or don't. And he said, okay, I'm going to use Azazel and 100 others, jinn, to build God's temple. And God permits that. So you're telling me that the jinn can be corralled to do good things? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. That is exactly what you're telling me. Matter of fact, you're telling me that is the exact rules of the game. Solomon was allowed to control the jinn openly if he did righteous things with them. He had them twine the rope. He had them cut the blocks. He had them build the temple. So why are they over there tonguing and kissing the Western Wall and worshiping it? Again, has everything to do with the fallen. They built it. The jinn built it. What is this special about this one wall on the whole freaking planet? One of the greatest magicians, wizards that ever lived, King Solomon, had it built and used a jinn to do it. In the Testament of Solomon, tells you that. So everyone else can golf. There's an excuse or a twisted lie or a fear. Yeah. You can take all that with you on down the road. I don't care. You can call it whatever. You can say whatever because you're scared of it. This is how this place works. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't care if it goes against what you believe in. I don't care about none of that. I'm laying the truth out. It's what it is. You don't like it? Leave. Never come back. Unlock in another life. You ruined it here. Because your ego. Because you think you know it all. Because you think your brainwashed ass for the past decades of the same crap you regurgitate knows it all. You ain't never been taught any keys. You get given keys and look what you do with them. Look what you do with them. It's why God said, don't cast your pearls amongst swine. For a reason. All right. So, done. There. I'll end it there. I hope you enjoyed the stream. A thank you to everyone that listens. Because that's all this is about in the end. This isn't about anything else but you getting that message and applying it. All right. Take us out of here. Hope you liked the music. Got more coming in the coming days. The next week. Couple more rounds. Again, if you missed it, the official music video, Yeah Yeah, for me and Hoodie Ross dropped. It's the latest video here on the channel on YouTube. I may eventually upload it as a backup over on DLive. It's probably where I'll just put all the backups. Much love to everybody. Thank you for joining again. And thank you to those that give me feedback, whether it's an email or any other little message to let me know that you felt all this. And I appreciate the feedback. It lets me know that it's all worth it. Because just changing a couple people, it's worth it. Sometimes you got to go through a whole lot of people to find the real ones out here. So, much love to all of you. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Much love. God bless. He's always watching. Go get you some little Jesuses. Start handing them out like we do. Bless them. Do some little things, man. Change people's lives. Do what you can while you can, right? Much love. God bless. Thank you for the super chat. Everybody, thank you for joining. Buddy Ross. Yeah, yeah. And salutes to the legendary Eon. 7 coffees at the end of the stream. Nobody like him. Insane. Insane. I appreciate it more than you know, brother. Again, no one else can show up, support, dropping 7. Legendary. Again, make sure to check out the music video. We got more to come. We got more to come, man. Bonnie and Clyde, you better get ready for war. Yeah. The same, PC. I'm telling you what, these cats out here starting to creep up on me on my property again. Right now, it's wartime.